focus in Evenepoel is preparing as never before in the hypoxic rooms of the Sierra Nevada to increase his already increased red blood cell count, sleeping in his own house next to the hyperbaric chamber hotel of the Dopa Kolobnev. Our beloved Danish anchovy is already, right now, in Tignes with his Rabobank teammates, preparing away from the media spotlight and the Wada vampires, but always close to his beloved fans who are looking forward to seeing his rivals slapped around the face with a wet, fresh, sweaty fish. Primož Roglič is stocking his hotel fridges with cans of Red Bull, as well as a cupboard full of recurring, old favourite ketone gels. But all these riders have one thing in common. They are scared of a monster that has absolutely consumed all his rivals in 4 months of a season, which is shaping up to be historic. And barring any strange situations or freak injuries, it will end with the first Giro d'Italia and Tour de France double since 1998, when a guy who enjoyed doing streaks over disco toilets showed the world that, suitably doped up, you could emerge victorious from any serious injury. Why do we say this? Because if it wasn't enough that Poggi won the Giro d'Italia by slowing down and wasting no energy, just as his director Moonlight Machin said, the disciple of Dracula Gianetti is about to perform the most innovative, raw and brutal preparation in cycling history to not only conquer the Tour de France, but also fight for the Olympics and to win the rainbow jersey in the same season. What is the world number one doing right now to secure such a historic accomplishment? Planning for the Tour de France has started in the most romantic way possible for Poggi. After celebrating with his teammates after winning the Senza Fine trophy, Poggi has been sightseeing in Rome, taking pictures in the Forum, and then alongside nice men dressed as ancient Roman legionaries at the Colosseum, before enjoying a passionate night of love with Urska Zigart in a luxury 5-star hotel suite, paid for, of course, by the billionaire Arab sheikh who sponsors him. The same person who is increasing Poggi's salary from 6 to 8 million euros per season. On May the 28th, the lovers took a private flight to Monaco, the tax haven where they reside, a place which was made fashionable by the White Kenyan and Tramadolita Quintana 10 years ago when they were eager to save some money. That is, at this very moment, both Poggi and Urska are resting at home. And for this phase, Gorka Prieto, the Spanish nutritionist to the Slovenian cyclist, is allowing him to take his favourite dishes on board: chicken curry, smash burgers of the best beef on the market, pistachio ice cream, and lager beers of low, dubious quality, the ones our favourite alien is able to ingest in a single gulp. Another key to understanding his summer performance is the motivation he'll be getting from the Netflix series, The 8 Show, where some nice Koreans had to climb stairs. That is, of course, one of Poggi's main exercises while he is out of competition. Now the Slovenian is able to climb those steps faster than ever, and this exercise will give him the strength and mental release he needs to go to the place where the monster will further recharge his batteries. On June the 4th, Poggi will be in the French Alps, in a very special place, the ski resort of Isola 2000. The same place where our friend of the channel, Bjarne Riis, presented himself to the world as a bald slug capable of attacking aliens like Enervit Indurain or the doper Tony Rominger, where he did so at the base of the mountain in the 1993 Tour de France. It's no coincidence that Poggi is going to this place, as the same stage will practically be repeated in the Tour de France 2024, climbing the very hard Col de Var and the Col de la Bonnette. 3 climbs above 2,000 meters of altitude. But this no longer poses a serious problem for Poggi after a successful winter where he increased his red blood cell count to the level of a Peruvian who will not enjoy an internet connection in his 110 years of happy life. During the first 5 days of this stealth preparation, Poggi will train alone in the mountains, with no company other than his trainers and doctors, who will be supplying him with the necessary vitamins to further improve the Slovenian's performance. He will progressively increase the kilometres at altitude until he gets used to the 2,800 metres of the Bonnet summit. And then on June the 10th, he will make his biggest effort since finishing the Giro d'Italia, for then he will be joined by his teammates who will have participated from June the 2nd to June the 9th in the Criterium Dauphiné. Riders such as his close friend Tim Wellens, the trotter Niels Pollitt, Calippo Soler, or the guy who changes nationality like other people change their socks, Mr. Sivakov, or the guy who says that the road will put everyone in their place, Juan Ayuso. This group of cyclists had originally planned to go to the Sierra Nevada to increase their lung capacities artificially in the hypoxic rooms, but at Poggy's request they will go instead with him to mix hypoxia with the natural increase of red blood cells after high-altitude training. It will be here that Saunier Duval will prepare for the Tour de France. Practically 21 days that Poggy will spend living the life of that Peruvian who will never enjoy the delights of streaming. But he will still be taking selfies in emblematic places and showing us on his Strava profile all his records on climbs to scare his rivals even more. On June the 24th, Poggy will travel with his teammates to Firenze and prepare for this show for the Tour de France. It's very clear what he intends to do, to blow up the Anchovy and the rest of his rivals on the ascent of the Galibier on just the 4th day of competition, taking advantage of his stellar form and the continuing physical problems of his 3 main rivals. This master plan, however, already has attracted some detractors. The first of them, Alberto Contretrol. And although he is good friends with Poggy, whom he regularly advises to change his meat burgers for vegan ones full of pea protein, the popular former Spanish cyclist considers it too risky for the Giro d'Italia champion not to go to any other pre-Tour de France preparation competitions, even if it was just the mediocre Tour of Slovenia, like the Saunier Duval team leader did in previous campaigns. Mr. Contretrol claims that in the past he had the good fortune to rest for just 1 week, preparing on a beach in southern Spain before his victorious Giro d'Italia, not 5 weeks of rest, as happens to the Slovenian. Poggy has also been criticised by another Vingegaard fan, the former Rabobank rider and anti-doping advocate who raced in teams prepared by doping doctor Geert Leinders, Robbie McEwen. The famous Australian sprinter agrees with Contretrol, claiming that Poggy will have to find a magic potion to win the Tour de France without a pedal stroke in anger for months. Now, in Poggy's defence, let's just say this. In 1998, that doped-up guy with the bandana on his head didn't ride a single race from the time he won the Giro d'Italia in that hilarious time trial in Lugano until he showed up at the start of the Tour de France in Dublin 5 weeks later. This is exactly what the Slovenian alien intends to do. Perhaps he's on the right lines, after all.